This will be a warm and semi-formal ceremony which would last for about 45 minutes. Without further delay, we would now like to call upon Professor Ben Saul, the Chalice Chair of International Law in Sydney University, for his impression about the 4 Himalayan principles.
One of the most rigorous and demanding courses of its kind that I've seen around, and I've taught in a bunch of places, Oxford, Harvard, so you guys should feel very proud of yourselves that you have made it through such a demanding course. It's a course which has a really wide range and depth of issues, not only legal issues, but amazing interdisciplinary questions dealing with this difficult area of development as well. You've looked at the problems of conflict and post-conflict justice and state and constitutional transformation. You've looked at a range of human rights issues of all kinds, including labour rights, housing, economic, social, and so on. You've dealt with criminal justice, refugees, the role of law itself and the rule of law, and a whole lot of cross-cutting issues like gender, ethnicity, indigenous rights, caste, age, child rights, and so on. You've also done a very detailed case study in Washington, where a lot of these threads in the kind of doctrinal part of the course were drawn together, and you got to develop those through an experience of fieldwork. And to understand the benefits and limits of that kind of alternate way of researching. We use Nepal as a case study, as you know. It's one of the world's least developed countries, and so faces more challenges than most countries, including because of its recent history. But I also want you to take away from this course the positives from Nepal as well. You know, despite these challenges, from conflict to earthquake to poverty and so on, compared to our own country, Nepal is incredibly progressive in many ways. So a really strong constitutional fundamental rights culture, a kind of inclusiveness through quotas for vulnerable and disadvantaged and marginalised groups in Parliament and the civil service and so on, which we don't have anything like in Australia. The great challenges of managing this kind of diversity of languages and identities, and yet it still all manages to hang together in quite an extraordinary way. I hope you've looked beyond law in the course to the way that law is affected by all of these other dynamics like culture, politics, social issues and so on. And I want you to think about not only what you've learnt about Nepal, but also how it's generalisable or universalisable to the experience of development. We use Nepal as a case study, but many of these issues are ones which will crop up time and time again in a whole bunch of development situations. This time, for me, one of the highlights of the course has been how we managed through KSL to spend time at a great many grassroots organisations working on development issues here. This is a bit different from past courses where we tended to focus a bit more heavily on the elite institutions, you know, the kind of Western, international UN agencies and donors and so on. But as we've, I think, highlighted through the course, those guys are really in some ways only scratching the surface. Hard work at the ground level is done usually by the domestic partners, and I think we've been really privileged to see a whole range of those actors at work in a whole bunch of interesting areas. At the same time, we've also seen a variety of national institutions of various kinds. We've seen really the core international actor here, UNDP, which has the widest development programming, the biggest budget, and covers everything, as we saw, from governance to water, sanitation, and so forth. I hope the course has given you some new skills and some new knowledge about these issues. I hope it's taken you out of your comfort zone a little bit, pushed you, opened up some new horizons. I hope you've appreciated the culture and heritage of Nepal and all of the non-legal stuff we've looked at. But I also hope you take this away and think about your future directions. I mean, it's one of my missions to wean people off corporate law and get people into development, human rights and so on, but also to think about the different ways that those career possibilities can work. You don't have to be a human rights lawyer. Actually, we need people sensitised to human rights in places like the World Bank, development banks, companies, institutions and so on. So there's a lot of ways to practice all of this. Okay, I just want to say a few thank yous. Firstly, to Kathmandu School of Law and Professor Sangrula for being our partner in this program over so many years. As you know, we've been working with KSL for more than 10 years, more than 6 years on this program, and this is the fifth field school. And as you've, I hope, come to appreciate, this is a really hard operating environment. I mean, lots of things can go wrong. It is incredibly hard to plan. The planning for this takes, starts many, many months in advance, and things can go haywire right at the last minute. And KSL managed this year, I think, to make this one of the smoothest ever field schools, actually, and to minimise the disruption and difficulty of traffic and people cancelling and all the difficult things which we encounter on all of this. So I'd like to thank Kathmandu School of Law. I'd particularly like to thank our student volunteers. Britant, not a student volunteer, Britant, a former KSL student. Britant, before Swetcha, was taking the lead on arranging the program and then had to do his exams the day we arrived, and so Swetcha steps in and took up the reins. So Britant set a lot of this up, so we're very grateful to him. Swetcha, our Amal Clooney, but smarter. Bandana, Asara, Pooja, BJ, Bikash, Bibek. Look, we're really grateful to all of you. We're very proud of you for sticking with us and not being too embarrassed by us, for being so gentle and kind and forgiving and non-judgmental, even if some of you were a little bit cheeky sometimes. We have some small gifts for you, so I will perhaps call you up individually and give you a small gift. So actually, if you all come up, and I'll give you your gifts now. So please, boys and girls, any idiosyncrasies and peculiarities, your tendency to overshare, your propensity to drink too much Fanta. You actually haven't been too scandalous. You didn't disgrace me at the embassy, so that was a delight. You powered through all kinds of sickness. I think most of you were sick at some point. I was super proud of you being the only group that has ever swum at night, and not only swum in the Mlamchi River, but a great many of you. I mean, I think there were at least 15 or so, which is quite something. I thought you really pulled together as a group. You were a really inclusive group. You didn't have the kind of cliqueiness that can characterise some groups, so I was really delighted to see that. I've learnt from you not only yoga poses, but intellectually and so on as well. I've really enjoyed getting to know each of you, I think, a little bit over the course. I feel like I've just been scratching the surface for most of you, maybe not all of you, but most of you. And I look forward to staying in touch with you guys if you ever invite me onto Facebook. I promise to read the book on improving my personal relationships, but maybe not the book on Kama Sutra. I pledge to join you at Purple Haze next time. I won't exactly miss you, but not delighted to leave you either. So the verdict is equal best group ever. Thank you.
And all of you actually were there. It's good to swim in Melanti. Thank you very much. So it's always 2 weeks in this period, like we enjoyed, and Ben is very tough, as you know. So when Ben leads the team, and then we already understand that this year we're not going to have many problems. Anyway, this is a fun. We welcome you and also say goodbye, but this goodbye is not kind of goodbye for all. I mean, we have been a part of the family now. we should be in connections, and one of the most important objectives, which is hidden though, is a kind of commitment that I always say, a collaboration, a commitment for collaboration to get the world changed by combining efforts from the side of the developing countries and from the side of the developed countries. So this is a kind of tuning that we can work together. So this is fifth program. We had experience in the past too, and this year, we were not very much sure in the beginning whether we would be able to do it or not. The places that we were supposed to travel, the roads were not good. Even the hotel was problem. So many things were there, but still we dared to do it, and finally it comes to an end happily. And I see from your face that nobody is angry, nobody is unhappy, so it seems that the program is very good. I don't have to say much. I would like to just point out a couple of things. One, this is a 2 weeks program, and there are a couple of lectures, and you make a couple of places visit, but I don't think that you learn much. But the impression that you gather in the days to come, when you count problems in your life, this will be a benchmark. You can see always, this was the impression that you collected here, is always a big wisdom for you. That's what I believe. Second very important thing is it provides a kind of opportunity for people to come out of the comfort zone. Living in Melbourne, Sydney, Canberra, riding good buses, and then good roads, complaining always the government is not doing this, the government is not doing that. You can see how people can live in a life. So I think it gives a kind of impression that human beings should learn to live in any situation. So hopefully you will less complain about your life going back to Sydney. This is the second point. The third point is you can see here, this country does not have a problem of money. This country is not a poor country, economically that's what I say. In South Asia, we are the country which has the largest foreign currency saving. Huge amount of money we have. Bank have enough money, but the liquidity that flowing out is very big problem. Investment is not taking place. Development is not taking place. So everywhere you go, you find money. Well, this is a country has not been able to spend even 50% of its budget. You will be amazed to know that it's only 15% expenditure made last year, and this year is also not. So that means we're not able to spend money. Sort of very important thing, in this country, 10% elites of this country, the rich people like me, who have a professorship and other, we consume 52% of the national income. And the downtrodden 20% of the people consume only 5% of the national income. And that less 70% population who lives with 43% national income, the situation is like this. So you can learn if the governance system is not good, then development never takes place. So how important is the connections between law and development? So that's how we often think, preparing students to go to court and become a parrot, to talk about constitutional provision, and then, like some of you, like Ben also indicated, thinking always sitting in a beautiful corporate building, and then with a big tie, and then like a big car, and then thinking about stock market, stock exchange is not only way of becoming a lawyer. If you become a lawyer, and then you go to the type of the place that you visited in Melanchi, and you become a part of the family, part of the society, the part of the poor people over there, really brings a charm, really brings a kind of great inspirations to become a lawyer. That's what we think. So I don't have much to say. With these words, let's have next year's program for the better. So probably then I have some time to discuss before he goes, and some changes. My only request, 3 requests for Ben is that instead of we visit a lot of these international organizations here, let's make these people to get a chance to visit the government offices. Let's make them discuss with the Chief Justice of this country what she feels, what she want to do, how she will make the things reformed. Would be one very good way. Even it's not possible for me to make an arrangement for them to meet with the Prime Minister of Nepal and discuss with him, that's fine. Let's take them to the Parliament of Nepal. Let's take them to the Department of Roads, Departments of Sewage and Drainage. So that's how they can see. And we can get these people to talk to them. So that's one we can do. So let's have 2 more days extended in 14 days. So let's make it 16 days. And in the mid of the day, in mid of the 2 week, like we can make them a good time to spend. Like why don't we have them a very good rafting then one day. So they can go for rafting. And blue water rafting for one day. They can swim a lot in the big water. You will not die. I mean, they will be professional people. One thing. Or we can take them to mountain riding, like artificial, so they can ride. They can learn to ride the mountains, this kind of thing. Or we can make them a kind of thing to do a marathon one day, like they can run for 10 kilometers. Or even if you want to bicycle, they can do 10 kilometers. So that's how this can be also adventurous. Okay? So we can think about that next time. And from the next time, like to make it further cheaper for both Sydney, for the students, and for KSL, we can think of having most of the time that we spend staying in our campus, which is very cheap, which is better than the hotel, so that the cost will come down. So this is how we can make it better, and let's hope this program will go for a long time. Sydney and KSL have very good relation over the past 10 years. We have been working together. And we have a very good experiences. We have a very good impression with each other. In the days to come too, we will be doing better. So hopefully you will go back home, see your family, and give our regards to them, and say that Nepal is not a very bad country, but it's not a very good country. Also, you can see the dust outside. So I don't know whether development is good or bad, but the whole Kathmandu is under construction. So by the time I die, it is still under construction. So I have no chance to enjoy it. Probably my daughter will better enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Effective to Himalayan Field School, and also for inspiring us. Now we'd like to call upon Charles Costidin, a student of the University of Sydney, for a vote of thanks.
This is an extraordinary program. We had multiple lectures across multiple topics in multiple locations, and I know it doesn't all happen magically, so I'd like to start off by thanking Professor Bensol. If we're exhausted, I can't imagine how you feel. You've taught us about human rights, you've got us to swim in rivers, and even put down a recent bus rebellion, so I can imagine you'll be ready for some rest. I'd also like to really thank Professor Sonia Mom on our side of things. Yeah, we know a huge amount of logistical work goes into this. I know I personally sent you a lot of annoying emails, and yeah, we really appreciate all the work you put in. On the Kathmandu School of Law side, we'd like to thank Professor Sangrula and the rest of the staff here. It was really, I think, unique for us, not just to get the Western academic perspective, as valuable as that is, but to actually hear about Nepali experience from Nepali nationals, people who are very close to these issues. And I think that was something that was made uniquely possible also by our wonderful translators and all the Nepali students we had with us, particularly doing field work in fairly remote places like Malamchi, and yeah, really being able to see, I guess, on the front lines of development in Nepal what that looks like and the problems that they face there. So thank you very much to our translators. Thank you also to Swetcher. As Ben said, at the last minute, you seem to have kind of been thrown into this. And I don't know, maybe it was deeply stressful from both your ends, but to us it just kind of seemed to flow. We hopped on the bus and hopped off where we were told, and everything seemed very informative. So thank you so much, and thank you also to the bus drivers who are wonderful. We are alive. I had my doubts at some point, but here we are nonetheless. And yeah, I guess I'd echo really what Ben said, that we hopped off planes mostly about 2 weeks ago, not really knowing what to expect. And I think all of us have had a wonderful time and not only developed a fondness for KSL and for our new Nepali friends, but also for Nepal more broadly. And I'm sure many of us will come back and certainly keep an eye on events in Nepal. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
For such wonderful words. Now we'd like to call upon
to strike a lifelong mentorship package with them, and they will definitely invite me for their weddings, which I feel is going to be sooner than mine. So I might just be Amal without a George Clooney. So vote of thanks, I did not bring a list with me because I thought it has to be personal towards the end, so I'm not going to give out names because it's a groundwork for missing somebody from the list. So I would like to thank KSL. Britan definitely gave me an opportunity to step in because of his exams, which he had to step out at the last minute. We've talked about this so many times, but I have to be very thankful to Purvanchal University for scheduling exams for Britan so that I could step in, and definitely KSL for thinking that a group of 4 ladies can definitely have organized in partnership and in coordination with our faculty members this brilliant program. Someone said that it takes a lot of time for anybody outside Nepal to direct and maybe organize courses like this. But I would think that it's the value of young spirit of KSL and the teachers that have faith in us that we can do it well, and I hope we've done it well. So thank you to Professor Ben and Sonia for being there always and for making sure that the WhatsApp messages are on time and nobody needs to have a taxi back to the guest house, because all of you are wonderfully disciplined and punctual and not scandalous, definitely. On my way back here, I was thinking about the things that I would have to talk about, and it was kind of overwhelming because we did have a lot of borderline scandalous activities that I think will make the best memories. Definitely the Milamchi water dip at 11 p.m. Almost 1 or 2 degrees was definitely challenging, but I think it was very reinvigorating. I would just say thank you to all of you, and I hope that you have come to like my country a little bit more because of us, because of the teachers. Definitely not because of the roads, but I could see that none of you had masks on your face, which was delightful to see. I was very happy when none of you needed masks, because it told me non-verbally that you're loving our country as much as we do. Thank you so much, and my final namaste for HFS 2017. And before I sign off, I would like to say that your consent form that you signed on the first day is no longer effective. So if any of our volunteers come to you with a camera, you can feel free to say no. Thank you.
Okay guys, a quick, this is my final ever logistical announcement. The bus is going to take you either to Timi, which is the junction with the highway, if you want to get a taxi